Chapter 2, a failing test case. Let's add a second test case to our test_math.py module. However, let's add it with a twist. We will code it to deliberately fail. Create a new Python test function named test1 plus 2. Inside this function, write the following lines: a equals 1, b equals 2, c equals 0, and assert a plus b equals c. Clearly, 1 plus 2 does not equal 0, so this test case should fail when we run it. You might be wondering why we are writing this test case to use variables instead of simply writing assert 1 plus 2 equals 0. You will see why in just a moment. Let's run the new test. PyTest will discover and run both test cases, and then both will run very quickly. Notice how PyTest output prints a dot for the previous test that passes, and an F for the new test that fails. PyTest also dumps a code snippet for each failing test at the point of failure. Take a closer look at the line identified as the failure. Assert a plus b equals c. Immediately beneath it, PyTest prints another line that shows the values of each variable used in the assertion. This feature is called assertion introspection. It is very helpful when trying to figure out why tests fail because you don't need to rerun the test with debugging to see the variable's values. Under the failing line, PyTest will also print the type of exception that caused the test to fail. When a test fails due to a failed assertion, the exception will be an assertion error. However, tests will fail for any unhandled exception type. For example, if a test tries to access the 9th index in a list of only 5 elements, then the exception will be an index error instead of an assertion error. Pay attention to the exception types to help determine if test failures are due to legitimate defects or automation bugs. At the bottom of the report, PyTest lists the paths and names of each failing test with their failures. And then it concludes by printing the test result totals. PyTest's basic test report is both concise and helpful. Failing tests are bad, so let's go back and fix them. Change c equals 0 to c equals 3. Then rerun the tests. PyTest should now report 2 passing tests. Nice. If you'd like to learn more about how PyTest handles assertions, check out the page, The Writing and Reporting of Assertions in Tests, on pytest.org.